We are back after some of the gremlins crept in. So we're hoping that things are going to be cool for round two. That's interesting, definitely. We've been definitely experiencing some of the stuff happening as well, William. So I think it's happening with all of us at the moment, especially with a high level whistleblowers, people that are blowing the whistle. So let's welcome back. And I know we don't really have too much time left, but I was just trying to catch where the last I heard before you started breaking up. And it was sort of like in the house with Ghislaine and the young girls and what have you, and the threats and all of that. What I'd like to find out now from you, though, you went back to the house, right? A couple of days ago to the Epstein mansion. And you expressed to me off air that there was, you were quite disappointed by what you saw there. Can you share with us what that all looks like now?
Right. Just a quick comment on this breaking up. Like I said to you before we went on the air, a lot of odd things have been happening. Could just be the internet. It could be that people know that I'm revealing more and more, including starting to put some other additional names that I personally witnessed on the videos that Jeffrey showed me and that I was able to get to authorities. That being said, you say I'm a whistleblower. I just think that I'm a guy who's trying to do the right thing and put my past behind me and realize that the poor choices I made in life have led me into the orbits of these people that I would normally have never associated with for various reasons. So last time I was at the house, I detailed that experience and my relationship with Ghislaine and adult women that were mostly assistants of hers and things that we did or whatever, but without getting into a lot of graphic detail, of course, and how I felt she was always trying to lure me in to have relationships or sexual relationships with other looked like younger girls that were there under pretext reasons I now know. So me having been in prison so long, I decided to go back and film at the house for my true crime podcast and for victim advocacy. And I do support the victims. I'm not trying to take anything away from what they're doing. If there's anything I can do to help them, they know that I'm there. I've been on the internet now. But I'm inspired by all of them, the female victims, and everybody in these people's orbit was victimized in their own way. Not the willing participants in the illegal things, but just about anybody else who may have had peripheral dealings, that kind of tarred with the same thing, even though they didn't have anything to do with it. So I went back to the house for closure for myself, to do a little filming. I was going to ask if there was a new owner or maybe it was under renovation, if I can go in. I had some markings that I put specifically in a certain closet in the wall, and I wanted to go in and film and really get that on camera. And, that I had been there, that before I escaped basically with my life, I had marked that I was there. And I pulled down the street, El Brillo Way, dead ends. And for those of you who know, it's in Palm Beach, surrounded by $40-50 million mansions behind gigantic black iron gates and security everywhere, police everywhere. Hedges are, 30 feet high, just gigantic, private, massive waterfront estates everywhere. The Kennedy clan lived there. The Gucci family had a house there. It's an enclave of super wealth in the United States. And so on the end of this Epstein Street was called El Brillo. On the far left side was where the house was. Well, when we pulled up about 3-4 days ago in front of the house, and I hadn't been back there since 2005, and I was like looking for the house. I thought I turned up the wrong street. But of course, I recognized the driveway and the gate, whatever I did recognize, but there was no house. And a sick feeling came over me as I walked closer, and then I realized I was on camera on the main driveway by the mailbox. There's a gigantic sign, no trespassing. I guess for the media onslaught that was there, when this all was unfolding. And then there's a camera trained right there, and probably others I didn't see. And I realized, I was suddenly on camera, but I was filming my actions, so I couldn't be accused of maybe breaking any laws by being there or maybe getting on the property. So there was nobody there to let me in. And I started doing a I had somebody filming me, and I was doing a little selfie of myself, and I had to stop, and it was just I was overcome with emotion. I nearly had a, I don't want to say a nervous breakdown, but I still have post traumatic stress over what happened to me, and I don't know if you lost the video on your end, but it's gone here.
Nice, good.
Are you there? Okay, here we are.
Yes.
I'm back on. I apologize. I don't know what's going on, but so I had basically a nervous breakdown. I had to stop filming, and I've been suffering with post traumatic stress for several years over this. I've been in counseling on and off for years, and it was just very unsettling, to see that um, sort of like
Mm.
imagine there's really nothing to compare it to because it's not like going to see a family member, but something that was such a big part of your life and
Yeah.
exploded so large in the media and you flew under the radar the whole time. And now you're coming out to talk about it and there was nothing there. Somebody connected with me. I think you know her, Penny Shepherd, Penny L.A. Shepherd. She seems pretty knowledgeable about what's going on. I understand she may be a guest of yours, and she seems very supportive of stuff that I've been through. We're starting to communicate. And another lady who just came out of the blue yesterday, and I'm very leery of who I communicate with because I do know that between the Clintons and these various other people that are involved, there's a lot of money, a lot of intelligence agencies involved in this. So I'm a very friendly person, but I'm also not stupid. I'm very cautious about who I deal with, or at least I try to be. And
Yeah.
I surveil myself at all times. I have devices, more than one, that tracks my every movement. I have video on me at all times. So, and I make it very well known that that's the case. I'm not going to say the details of how I do that, but everything and everywhere I go is fully recorded 24 hours a day at this point. Um, yeah, it was.
I think,
I'm putting together a video of that visit anyway, even though the house wasn't there, and try to better convey my feelings on that. You can go, and your visitors, your viewers, excuse me, are welcome to subscribe to my channel. Of course, I'm trying to build that up, and it's official William Steele on Instagram and YouTube, and that video should be up in a few days, and then I'll share some more with you as well, right around the same
yeah,
time that I release mine. But so we are putting together a video. I didn't want to get back home until I had a chance to really process that and pray about it and you see where I'm led to what I'm led to really say.
don't you don't you think it's a very healing process actually to go back to that place? I think it's always maybe quite shocking initially to sort of see it the first time, but then at least that kind of opens the way for you to make your peace with that. And I
Yeah.
think that would be a very good thing at the end of the day, because as you say, at the time you had no idea how this thing would explode into the media and the ramifications that were connected to these situations and people. So I think it's great that you actually went back and you were able to face that and process that in the way that you need to. Yeah.
If your readers look at the book, read the book, and exactly what happened to me in that house and what was done to me the last time I was there, they'll understand my reticence about even going there, what it took to go there. I had a very supportive person with me that day, and we weren't there 5 minutes. When I realized I was on camera, part of me, the old me, because I was a jewel and art thief, I was good at getting out of these exact same type of places and not being noticed. Wanted to quickly get onto the property, do some filming anyway, but there was just a slab there. There was no wreckage even of a demolition in progress. But I wanted to still just get over the fence. But I realized I'm on precarious legal ground to begin with, and I'm not going to break any more laws. But as we lingered there filming, trying to do a couple of retakes real quick, and I was so distraught that it was hard to even do the retakes. I noticed a police officer stalking us from about 2 blocks up. He just kind of went and he watched. And I guess that's one of the main places they keep an eye on now. And he was about to come down. Um, I had a luxury vehicle with me, so I fit into the area. I had a very, very high-end vehicle, and for exactly this purpose, just to make sure I would fit in. And he looked like he was waiting for us to pull out. He was going to come after us. Well, I used some of my tricks from the old days to kind of outthink the guy, and I left. Now, I wasn't doing anything wrong, but I certainly didn't want to be confronted and explain who I was and why I was there. And, you know, bottom line, my experience with that police department back when I reported things was not very good. They might have good people there now, but back then somebody was telling Epstein everything that was going on, and he was getting tipped off to investigations. And you read about that in the book because I detail how I believe that was happening and how some people were betrayed by law enforcement beyond what is known right now. And so, yeah, we went back, we filmed there, we filmed in some other key spots in Palm Beach and in the area. As you know, one of my PR team, Tom Madden, Transmedia, we filmed from there last time, as well as from Palm Beach. Oh, by the way, I do have a new agent. If you want to book anything, Liz Coppola. She's called the Godmother Agent. So she does a lot of guys who have been to prison, turn their life around, a lot of mobsters. She's very, very big in Hollywood. She's huge. She has her own reality show coming out. So Liz has been excellent and really trying to line up some more interviews. But now with my show coming out in a few weeks, I'm getting bombarded with interview requests. So you're kind of getting in early on this. I mean, I'm not bragging on myself. I'm kind of humbled by all the attention. But it's really been quite the ride. I feel blessed and humbled, but it is very risky to tell the stories I'm telling. And when I read about so many people connected to this turning up dead, there's more than the 3 that we know about. And like I said, some of this is still under investigation. Your viewers may know that the FBI Public Corruption Squad in New York City is the one that's on this case. And why are they on it? These people weren't politicians. Well, what politicians were involved? So why is the Public Corruption Squad investigating what went on in these houses? Because there's public officials that were, past and present, that were directly involved in having sex with children and are on these videos.
Well, firstly, I would just like to say to you, we're very happy that we could have gotten you started on your journey. So wherever that takes you, may that take you to good places. Secondly, what you were saying is that, so is the house fully demolished? It's completely gone, right? Is that what you're saying?
I didn't want to get to climbing it or anything, but I did try to peek in. It looks completely flat at this point. Okay. One of the other people following this, another investigator that, got in touch with me last night and sent me a video of, looked like a big piece of equipment in there, and it was about 3/4 demolished. Some guy, I don't know who the guy is, evidently jumped the fence and filmed during that period and ran room to room and what was remaining standing. And I recognized a few things that I'll get into and break down what they are in my recollection on my videos. But so it was even past that stage. She said, "Oh, I didn't know you weren't aware. Would you like to see the video of another guy that jumped the fence?" And he filmed all throughout the place. But no, when I was there, it would appear to be nothing but either a flat slab or just dirt. That's all it was. Nice, beautiful,
But what about I mean, Epstein Mansion is renowned for the underground tunnels that they would have had. What do you know about them possibly blowing up tunnels that's going there from that mansion? It's a well-known fact that a lot of these celebrities, etc., have had tunnels under their houses. So would that have been something that would have been blown away as well? Do you know anything about that?
What little I know about that, I don't want to get into at the moment, but I think you're on the right track. And there was other reasons, but I believe besides altruistic, why that place was demolished.
Okay. Well,
surrounding property. We took footage of the surrounding properties, and every one of them. I'm not going to go into it, but yeah, you're definitely on the right track as far as traffic in and out of the place. But I think many of the victims, and including myself, went through the front entrance on the street. You get buzzed in as these doors, but I wasn't personally taken through a tunnel. And I do know that it's right on the intercoastal waterway, and I've lived in South Florida. If you dig to try to install a pool, you have to have a pump constantly taking the water out of the hole as you get deeper before you put your form for your pool. The water table there is like this close from the top of the dirt. So to put a tunnel there would have been like a real engineering feat to have a tunnel that close he's surrounded by water, to my recollection, on two sides, um, and that's the intercoastal waterway. I don't know,
Wow.
but there was seemingly people coming and going that were not using the front. So I don't know if they did have something built. I mean, with that kind of money, you can engineer a tunnel through anything, I'm sure, including
But
a wet.
also, if we're just looking at Ghislaine Maxwell, whose father owned a submarine company, right? So when we're looking at a lot of the trafficking that was happening between the islands, I mean, I'm not necessarily saying this house. I don't really know the location, but we're being told that that was actually done with the submarines as well, between the islands, that they would traffic these kids as well.
Right.
Anyway, um, I'm very interested to know though. The whole Ghislaine Maxwell case as well. You mentioned to me earlier on that the prosecutors refusing victim impact statements regarding the Ghislaine Maxwell case. What do you know about that? What can you
Right.
tell us about that?
I know as far as them refusing victim impact statements, I tried to submit one on several occasions, and there's actually they had a because of the case was so high profile. Um, the victims' rights attorneys and some people in law enforcement refer to me as a victim, but I put myself in a situation and I'm a guy. I'm not looking to sue anybody. If I can expose them and help hold them legally accountable through the courts and the criminal justice system, of course I will. But I'm not looking for a penny out of this or to sue anybody. And so for me to be called a victim when I put myself in that situation and the sex started out consensually seems disingenuous because it was consensual until it wasn't, until you're drugged, until you're restrained, until you're threatened with your life. If you don't help us with this, we're going to call the cops or you might not leave here. It no longer becomes consensual or fun or, whatever you want to call it. Um, when you put these victim impact statements in, it almost as though because you're a guy and experienced some problems with these people that directly surrounded what they were trying to cover up, you're a victim. Whether or not you're an enlisted victim or prosecuting really is irrelevant. You're somebody who was an intended victim and you are a literal victim. It seemed like that was the reason they were being rejected, is because they weren't wanting to take anything except for some of the people that were very highly publicized, probably Virginia Giuffre and all these other, wonderful people that were victimized over there. So on the last day, I got really insistent. I kept resubmitting it, and then they had the nerve to tell me my victim impact statement was arrived 4 hours late. Well, I submitted it. They had a press release instructing victims and witnesses, anybody with information, how to submit to the court for it to be considered at the sentencing. Whether it's read into the record or not, it's irrelevant. So mine was on time. I don't remember if it was 4 hours or 40 minutes. I forget right now. But it was like ridiculous excuse, and it's the only time they ever gave me an excuse. Well, what happened to my other submissions? So
Yeah.
I have a copy of that. I'll be posting a copy of my victim impact statement and the court's response, the victim impact coordinator, whatever she is, in the Southern District of New York. Maybe she was just told to do that. Maybe things have been hacked. I don't know, but they didn't want a lot out. And in mine, I named names in it. I submitted it to the
Well,
court to get it on the record. I named names. I explained how Ghislaine, and I put some of that in the book about how she literally was discussing with me openly about the need to have Jeffrey Epstein killed. And I literally put that as well in the victim impact statement and about uh, uh,
but we know,
certain politicians.
the way I see this whole Jeffrey Epstein thing is that he was probably the link that the main link that connected all these elites or deletes. Um, so of course, when the time came, he had to be the fall guy. But because I have no doubt one of the reasons they made him be the fall guy is because of all the information he had on everyone as well. So that was kind of their payback. But by the same token, they would have covered up a lot of stuff in the court case. The way I see it, since Ghislaine Maxwell's trial, who's been arrested? No one's been arrested. I don't know of anyone that's been arrested. I mean, and the thing is, there are so many, as you say, so many names in those black books. It's not just Prince Andrew. It's not just a couple of here and there. I mean, he's the link to the top pedophile rings on the planet. He's the link to the top satanic cult links on the planet. So that's what this is about, really. At the end of the day,
you know what I find amazing is that you have to be careful how you say things, but allegedly, the very attorneys that were involved in drafting his original plea bargain were and are on video with minors. So they come in and draft the Palm Beach plea agreement to give him some county time for, like, I think soliciting a prostitute when there's no prostitution when it's a minor, it's rape, period. But they downplayed all these charges. They put him in the stockade, which I was in the Palm Beach County Jail. The stockade's nothing. It's a joke, and you get to go home every day. So he goes home to his mansion, to Miami, to his jet. He can go leave all day long, come back, sleep there for a few hours, and go about his business. The very attorneys that are now known to be involved crafted this plea in which his plea agreement clearly states, and we have a copy of it, that this includes no prosecution for all known and unknown co-conspirators, Southern District of Florida. Well, guess what? They're so bright, these guys, that they screwed up. They forgot that it should have been a global agreement incorporating every federal jurisdiction in the United States. It did not include the New York Southern District. New York Southern District then went after Jeffrey and arrested him ultimately. And he screamed, "Wait a minute! I have this plea in Florida, no prosecution for me or any co-conspirators, known and unknown." This is how bright these guys are. That they completely overlooked the other jurisdictions. They could have got that deal, and he would never have been charged or arrested. And now everything's caving in on them, and any one of them who has dirt or wants to save their reputations and start cooperating is going to probably end up dead or, disgraced forever.
It really is just a matter of time before the chips come crumbling down. That's the way I see it. These guys have been doing this for so long. It's a matter of time. It really is.
Do you see any flashing on your end? Looks like my screen is flashing a little.
No, I see you perfectly well. Are we having technical issues again?
Yeah, mine just kind of fluttered on and off. I would wonder if you're seeing it on your end.
No, I see you fine, and
we are trying to actually get a whole bunch of upgraded equipment, and because I have been in prison so long, things are actually pretty tight right now financially. But so we're looking for anybody that may want to assist us with a better computer, but we have some suggestions, some equipment we need to get. But we're kind of working with older equipment and the internet here. I'm filming a TV show here for A&E Network called Inmate to Roommate. It airs. It's about my life.
I was about to ask you about that. That was going to be my next line, is to actually maybe tell us about this. You and I want to just also paint the picture here. So you spent 18 years in prison for crimes you committed along the way and stuff like that. You recently got out, and you're now creating this TV series called From Inmate to Roommate. And as you said, it's starting to air in August. Tell us a little bit about that. I know that we've kind of been briefly skirting around that because I know you guys have been in the throes of creating it and promoting it and doing whatever. So I'd be interested to know. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, Inmate to Roommate is going to be on A&E Network. Premieres. The trailer's out now. You can go to Official William Steele, watch the trailer. It's only a few seconds long. It wasn't my creation, but I was already doing my books and intending to do podcasts and true crime stories and victim advocacy and expose some of the people I met along the way who were like horrific, like the people we're discussing. Shortly before my release, I was offered an opportunity to participate in the series because I was a law clerk. I was always somebody helping people with the chaplain's office and this and that, and the mental health department at the prisons. And they said, "Do you want to be part of a show that's going to take a look at recidivism rates, which is return rates to prison, which are very high for people on drugs, alcohol, and the third thing is lack of adequate housing upon release in this country." I don't know what it's like in your country, probably very similar. So I've always been fighting for all these things to improve and, for more rational sentencing and reform of criminal justice system, prison reform. So I agreed to participate. So it's a look at how, in my case, I didn't go back to family because we had a falling out over an inheritance. And they are very paranoid that I'm even out. But I'm not the guy I was. I'm trying to do the right thing, and they just don't see that. And I forgive them. I forgive them for what they did. They went after greed, forgot about their brother that was sitting in prison, and it is what it is. So this program shows what it's like to live with people you barely know coming out of prison. But in my case, they also incorporated my books, my projects. This is my book about Robert Durst, Sex and the Serial Killer, and they just weave my whole getting on the feet experience post incarceration into this show, and I can't give away a lot. I'm not allowed to. I'm under contract. You have to watch it, but it's really right up my alley because it discusses the difficulty getting out of prison and trying to get back on your feet. And I've experienced that. No matter how much I try to do the right thing here, I still have the naysayers and the nasty people coming out on the internet. And I'm a Brooklyn guy. I'm from New York. I want to respond to everybody, but my wonderful fiance and some brilliant people I have in my corner said, ignore them. They're going to be there. Ignore them. Don't give them the time of day. You're on the right track now. It's been 14 months. Just continue to do the right thing,
Yeah.
And just don't respond to all these nasty people that you pick up. So it's weird because
you're always going to find them. You're always going to find them, William. There's always people who've always got they unhappy within themselves, so they will always look for a reason to find fault with others. So just carry on.
It's a surreal experience. I didn't know social media didn't exist when I went to prison. Now I am forced to use it every day. I don't mind. I like engaging with my fans, especially with my early fans, the ones that maybe they didn't even believe I had a TV show that we were filming. But now the network released the trailer. Now they're like, holy crap, they're being a lot nicer. But I didn't even know what a catfish was. All of a sudden, I'm picking up women or whoever they are from like all over the world wanting to get to know me already. And I'm, and my fiance and other people said, no, if it's a new profile or it's only guys or it's this or it's that, following them. And, there's so many ways to identify them. Now, I didn't know in the beginning. And I was just like being nice to everybody. And I was really, but that's just me. I try to get along with everybody. And that's kind of how I ended up close to Robert Durst and some of these other people. I had ulterior motive at the time, but I just talked to everybody. And I'm very friendly and gregarious. And, my fiance said, look, now that you're out and all these experiences you've had, anytime you meet a new friend, we're taking a family vote to see if you can see if we're going to allow it. I trust everybody until they give me a reason not to.
Well, there's a lot of that out there, and you will notice that on social media. That's for sure. Plenty catfish out there. Right. Anyway, well, William, it's been another great conversation with you. I know that we've both got recordings or appointments coming up shortly now as well. So I want to just say thank you so much for sharing with us again your story, the rest of your story, and I know we will have you on again. It's very, 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 very interesting and great that you're coming out, sharing the truths, exposing more of the inner circle of what's been going on there as well. And yeah, we really wish you well with all your new ventures and stuff like that. I think it'll be amazing for you to be able to share this. I look forward to your new series. I think that's going to be super interesting, from inmate to roommate. I mean, wow.
We're actually doing another entire day of filming here in 2 days, and then evidently there's a season 2 in the works. So plus discussions of possibly a spinoff just on my projects. Please, I'm still in the getting on my feet process. If you guys want to support me and appreciate what I'm doing, please go to Official William Steele. I'd be very grateful if you subscribe, tell people about it, and purchase my books. Yeah, but this is how this former jewel thief earns a living right now, trying to
do his thing,
be victim advocate and share my stories. But I still have to pay the bills as well. So thank you very much.
Absolutely. The links will be and are in the description area below. So thank you so much, William, for your time today. Good luck with your filming over the next couple of days. We'll see you back in a little while. So thank you so much to all our viewers for watching and supporting our show again today. We needed to cut it into 2, but for those of you who didn't get the first section, there'll be a part one, and this is part two of today's show. We had some technical glitches that snuck in, but we've managed to sort them out now. So if you haven't already, please give us a like, a share, and a subscribe. You're on Aquarius Rising Africa, as well as Solutions with Aquarius Rising Africa. We're on Twitter, Aquarius Rising Africa. I'm on Twitter. Mornay's on Twitter. It's really nice to get to know you guys there as well. We're on our Facebook pages. So join us on our community. We're growing. We got some amazing guests lined up. We've got some very cool things happening in the future as well. We've got our community promotion that we've just started. So we're promoting products that are in line with harmony, animal friendly, earth friendly. So if you would like to possibly see yourself promoting something on our channel, you're welcome to make contact with Mornay or Thea or me. Probably Thea or Mornay, the best ones to speak to right now, because they would generally be more hands-on with that. Anyway, take good care of yourselves. God bless you all. And as I said, if you haven't already, please give us a like, a share, and a subscribe. We'll catch you very soon. Thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Bye, William.